I'm Madison Timmons.
And I'm JT Timmons.
And we're the co-creators of the hit podcast, The Most Haunted City on Earth.
Look, we love ghosts, but we also love true crime. So we here at Haunted City Studios decided to create From One to Wicked.
A true crime podcast with a killer twist. We'll investigate,
Discuss
then rate
the most brutal and devious crimes and the monsters who commit them.
on a scale from 1 to wicked. So sit back and kill some time with us.
And remember, next time you're walking down the street,
You might just be passing a perfect wicked 10. Hello and welcome back to another episode of From One to Wicked. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm JT Timmons.
DeBria.
Oh wait, I thought y'all.
We were going to introduce her.
I thought, well, she knows how this goes.
We started. Nope. This DeBria.
DeBria, say your name.
My name is DeBria. My name's Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
Well,
Lord.
we have DeBria.
So only our second episode, we really fucked that one up.
It felt like DeBria's never been on our show before. Not this
I
one, but like the
guess.
other show. But, well, anywho, if you're like, now who's DeBria? If you're new here, DeBria is our editor. And she actually put in the request for this topic today. So we were like, guess what, DeBria? You get to be in the hot seat today.
Heck yeah.
Well, actually, I'm in the hot seat because I'm telling you all about it. But you're here with us. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about old P. Diddy today.
Old P. Diddy.
Puff Daddy, if you will.
Yeah.
Love. And you go by Love now? Love Daddy or something?
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Lord.
Well, he'd be signing off on
That didn't age
things
well.
that, like, and he's like, love. And I'm like, ugly. Anyways, well, we're going to be talking about the alleged, because this is all technically in the talking stage, if you will, the situationship, if you will, of the crime. Because right now, they have not even, they're not even close to being ready for trial at the moment. So we're going to kind of go through the timeline of everything, of what we know about the alleged crimes of P. Diddy.
For those of you watching, my chair sinks. So I will continue to get shorter.
Goodbye, JT.
Okay, bye.
But yeah, so we're going to go through our little timeline. If you listen to our last episode with Leilani Simon, it's going to be in a similar fashion as that. And I think that's kind of the best way to go about these alleged cases, just while, you know, they are in the alleged phase. And I am sure when the actual trial starts, they are going to come out with so much new information. Thank you, JT.
Oh, I'm too. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, so there are probably going to be a lot more details that come out in the later stages of everything. Because from what I can gather, there is a lot of information that is being withheld by the government right now that is going to be used in trial. And also, if you're wondering about some certain details that have been kind of circulating on the internet that are not going to be included in this, I omitted some things just off of the fact that there isn't anything necessarily to back it up besides rumor.
Okay.
So we're just going to go on to that. But before we get into that, if you are new here, the way this show operates is it's a little bit interactive. So essentially what we are doing is we are going to be rating these crimes on a scale from 1 to wicked. So we are going to be ranking these cases on brutality, premeditation, motive, difficulty of investigation, which I don't think will count yet on this one, but, and then body count.
Okay.
So let us all write those down. So now that we have our boards prepared, we are going to start out with probably, I would say, the first event that really spiraled this whole situation into the limelight.
Okay. Yeah, I know nothing about it, so
Great.
This is gonna be enlightening.
Exactly. Okay, so first event happened on November 16th, 2023. And that was when Cassie files a lawsuit. So Cassie began dating Sean John Combs, a.k.a. Diddy, around 2007. And the two were on and off until calling it quits for good in 2018. The singer filed a lawsuit, Cassie filed the lawsuit in November accusing Combs of egregious behavior with years of abuse and one instance of rape.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In a lawsuit filed in Manhattan federal court, attorneys for Cassie alleged she had endured over a decade of his violent behavior and disturbed demands, including repeated beatings and forcing her to engage in sex acts with male sex workers.
Goodness gracious. All right.
Now, according to the complainant, after she attempted to separate herself from him in 2018, Combs allegedly forced her into her home and raped her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. Cassie claimed that she suffered episodes of horrific abuse during their relationship, including times when he would allegedly fly into an uncontrollable rage and beat Miss Ventura savagely. She also alleged in her suit that that Diddy blew up a car belonging to Kid Cudi in 2012 after he learned that the rapper was romantically interested in her.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. He blew up a car?
Yes. That's some serious...
Allegedly.
He probably paid somebody to do that.
Well, yeah. I mean, but still.
Well, so this, you can say that's for real because this was settled immediately within 24 hours.
Wow.
Yes.
So
For 30 mil, ain't it?
Yep. So less than 24 hours after the lawsuit was reported, Combs and Cassie reached a settlement for an undisclosed amount. Terms of the deal are not known.
Okay. Did he think that Kid Cudi was in a car?
No, I think
he just wanted to destroy a car.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to make a point.
Yeah, that was a warning.
Okay. That's exactly what
That was a threat.
Yeah.
He's like, next time you will be in the car.
Yeah, I think
Allegedly.
so.
But anywho, so the Cassie said, I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control of. And she made that statement, and it was issued by her attorney, Douglas Wigder. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support. Wigder also claimed that the musician had offered his client 8 figures to prevent her from filing the lawsuit, which she rejected.
Wow.
So he tried to hush that woman.
Yeah, he did.
Which is tracks for a lot of the other accusations. But Combs responded with a statement, we have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love. Which is what?
Complete bull.
Right. Exactly. And that is where the
I
nickname...
think he's just thinking he's getting out of it.
Oh, no, that's exactly what it is.
Ah.
Because in a lot of his statements, he genuinely likes to play the victim, which is not adding up with all of the accusations that are against him.
Sure.
So,
including the ones today, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which we'll talk about. But yes. And then on November 19th, 2023, Combs makes a bunch of calls. So Combs makes multiple calls that he recorded to another victim of his sexual abuse, according to a later court filing from prosecutors asking for her support and friendship and attempting to convince her that she had willingly engaged in acts of consensual sexual abuse. Which I'm like, which I'm also like, those two don't add up. Consensual sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Like that just, but also it's the fact that like literally immediately after his first thought is like, gotta call the others.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's shady. That
shady.
doesn't look good on you. I'm just saying. But anyways, so prosecutors say the calls came at the beginning of months of attempts to coerce and bribe potential witnesses against him as allegations started to emerge. Then on November 23rd, 2023, Combs was accused of sexual assault and drugging in the 90s.
Okay.
So a day before the New York State Adult Survivors Act expired, Combs was hit with a pair of sexual assault lawsuits.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So an act expired.
Was about to expire.
Was about to expire, and they hit him because that was their last chance?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
One was from an anonymous plaintiff who claimed the music mogul sexually assaulted and beat her while the other was filed by a woman named Joy Dickerson Neal, who accused him of drugging and sexually assaulting her when she was a college student in 1991. Dickerson Neal claimed that Diddy had footage of the assault and allegedly distributed it to others around the music industry. And then, just to even further make him look more guilty, on November 28th, 2023, he decides to step down as chairman from his company, Revolt.
Okay.
With 3 lawsuits filed against him, Combs agreed to resign from his role at Revolt, which he helped launch in 2013 and no longer serve as chairman of the digital media company. While Mr. Combs has previously no operational or day-to-day role in the business, this decision helps ensure that Revolt remains steadfastly focused on our mission to create meaningful content for the culture and amplify the voices of all Black people throughout this country and the African diaspora. Or is that...
Diaspora.
Diaspora.
Dialysis.
Yes. A statement for the company said, our focus has always been one that reflects our commitment to the collective journey of Revolt, one that is not driven by the individual, but by the shared efforts and values of our entire team on behalf of advancing, elevating, and championing our culture, and that continues. 50 Cent has been relentless in trolling Diddy.
I'm sure he has. That man always is.
Yeah, he had a lot to say when we get to the
I'm sure he did.
when we get to the party aspect, but
boy.
has been relentless in trolling Diddy throughout the obstacles in his life and offered to buy Revolt from the bad boy boss after learning he was stepping aside. I'll buy that from you, Playboy, for the low because you know Cadillac and AT&T gonna pull out. He wrote in a tweet above 2 photos of headlines about Diddy stepping down. I'll give you a few dollars for it now. Sell it to me, then we can be friends. I'm serious. Call my phone. That's what 50 Cent had to say about that.
I'm sure.
And then on December 6, 2023, Combs denies all allegations. But of course.
Yeah.
Because a 4th lawsuit showed up at the his doorstep in December, in which a Jane Doe person alleged she was sex trafficked and gang raped by Combs.
I feel like I know who this is.
By who is the former Bad Boy Records president, Harvey Pierre, and another individual in 2003 when she was just 17 years old.
Wow.
Combs released a statement on Instagram denying all of the allegations against him. He said, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth."
All right. I mean, these are a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But they all have one commonality, really.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then on December 10th, 2023, apparently the brands did not believe his Instagram statement because they severed ties with his e-commerce brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that brands think, like a big brand where the creator is allegedly or just convicted in general of something that they can continue on.
Right.
You know, it's like the people going to drop them left and right. It's just,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And 18 brands severed ties from doing business with Combs' e-commerce company, Empower Global, in the wake of the mounting sexual misconduct allegations against the music mogul, according to Rolling Stones. Now, while this decision was difficult due to the reverence we once held for Mr. Combs as a leader in business and entertainment, it was clearly the correct choice. Leonard Greer, co-founder of Number One Clothers, told the magazine of pulling out of the relationship with Combs' company. Our brand is founded on the belief that every individual is important and worthy of respect, regardless of gender, ethnicity, age, and etc. The allegations against Mr. Combs are in direct conflict with these beliefs. In turn, we felt a moral imperative to end our relationship. Other companies that ended their relationship with Empower also gave similar statements to Rolling Stone. And then on December 13th, on 2023, Hulu decides to pull his upcoming reality show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But instead drops 7 documentaries on him.
Right?
Exactly.
I swear, I've seen so many like P. Diddy, the devil.
Right.
And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, they love editing him like with like red.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
filters and
They
stuff.
really do. They're into
so that he
that.
looks like a cartoon devil.
Yeah.
But anyways, so a Hulu series following Diddy's family was scrapped in December, and sources relayed to Billboard that Diddy Plus 7 was only in its early stages and not currently in production. The project was set to be produced for Hulu by James Corden's production company, Fuelwell 73.
Wow. Now it's P. Diddy plus 7's charges.
Literally.
I feel like they should have aired it so we can find more evidence, you know? Because I know it's in there.
Yeah.
Well, so here's the thing. What might have happened is because, as you'll see, the federal government, I think, has been kind of like keeping a tally on things for a while. I bet you anything, they're getting all that footage, and it's going to be used in trial if there is something in
Probably.
it. But
Yeah.
But then, skipping to February 26, 2024, a music producer sues P. Diddy. Producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones Jr. worked on the Love album Off the Grid 2023 and filed a lawsuit against Combs in February. Rod accused Combs of sexual misconduct, assault, and harassment. He accused the musician of groping and touching his butt and trying to groom him into engaging in sexual acts with Combs and other individuals on his team.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lil Rod also claimed that Diddy forced him to solicit sex workers, some of whom were allegedly underage, and have them perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs, according to the complainant.
So basically, he's using his power. Like,
Basically.
I think that's obvious.
Yeah.
He's using his power to not only get away with stuff, but just organize things, make it happen.
I think he was one of those celebrities that we've seen in, true crime cases in the past where they feel like because they're so rich and famous that they are above the law.
Yeah. And I could be wrong because everyone knows who P. Diddy is, but I could be wrong about this, but he's kind of stayed out of the public eye to a certain degree as much as he would be able to up until this point. And I mean that like we hear so much from like 50 Cent, for example, our entire lives. We don't, P. Diddy isn't like a brand or, a celebrity that is always just very outspoken, always in the limelight. Like, for instance, like, Justin Bieber or somebody else, The Rock. Like, he's always just kind of like laying low. No one it's not that no one talks about him. Obviously people talk about him, but like, it's just, I don't know.
I think a lot of it has to do is if you are allegedly running these types of like criminal situations, you want to like, obviously because you're famous, you want to still stay relevant to a degree, but you want to keep attention away from
That's
you.
that's my point.
That's why he was very secretive about who he kept in his circle.
Yeah, that's
and
my point.
Exactly. He only kept very, very elite famous people.
I low-key have always wondered, like, if not that if P. Diddy did anything bad like this, but I'm like, where is he? You hear about him all the time in the 90s, and then all of a sudden it just kind of drops off. Like, 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg, they're always doing something. Right. They're always there because they don't have anything to hide. They want to be looked at. It seems like he almost doesn't want to be looked at. But anyway.
Which is probably for a reason.
Yeah. Definitely.
But anywho, so Jones Jr. claimed that he woke up in bed naked, dizzy, and confused one night in February 2023 at P. Diddy's Miami home, and the Bad Boy Entertainer with the Bad Boy Entertainer and 2 sex workers.
Wow.
Yeah. So Rod believes he was drugged. The lawsuit also brings up an alleged incident at Chalice Recording Studio in Hollywood from September 2022 that resulted in a man being shot following a heated conversation between Diddy, his son Justin, and another man. The producer is also suing Combs, UMG, Motown, Love Records, and Chalice Recording Studio for providing inadequate or negligent security that night.
Dang.
Combs' attorney, Sean Hawley, denied Jones Jr.'s allegations in a statement shared with Billboard, saying that the producer was just looking for an undeserved payday, which seems to be they don't give any evidence to be like, this is why he's wrong. And
Yeah.
that they're like
looking for money.
Yeah, they just want money. I'm like,
Yeah.
I highly doubt it. If he's a music producer who's able to run in circles with P. Diddy, I guarantee you he has money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So, but anyways, she continued, we have overwhelming, indisputable proof, which they didn't disclose, that his claims are complete lies. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them, which I think was them trying to make threats so that more victims don't speak out.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I heard allegedly that they P. Diddy would like drug them first, and then they'll do something bad, and then try to blackmail them.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he's so confident right now, because he's gonna be like, "Well, I have a tape of them doing this, and nobody was around them."
Interesting.
That is a good point. But then on March 25th, 2024, federal agents raid his LA and Miami homes at the same time. So that's a big deal.
So they was like on the phone and they were like, "You going in?"
Yeah, it was
like, all right, 3, 2, 1.
Well, it was a bicoastal raid. And they wanted to get him because P. Diddy was supposed to be going, I want to say it was to the Bahamas the day that they did the raid.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he was in Miami. So, yeah. But the Department of Homeland Security Investigations, New York, executed search warrants with federal agents raiding Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes on March 25th. The Homeland Security raids were reportedly done in connection with an ongoing federal sex trafficking investigation, according to CNN. Prosecutors from the Southern District of New York are leading the case. Homeland Security Investigations New York executed law enforcement actions as part of the ongoing investigation with assistance from HSI Los Angeles and HSI Miami and our local law enforcement partners. We will provide further information as it becomes available, the Department of Homeland Security said in a statement. That same day, an alleged associate was arrested on drug charges in Miami.
Okay.
So a 25-year-old man accused of being a drug mule for Diddy in a recent lawsuit was arrested at Apalaka Airport on March 25th at the same time Combs' Los Angeles and Miami homes were being raided. Per Rolling Stone, Brendan Paul was booked on a pair of drug possession charges for cocaine and marijuana. With some homework from internet detectives connecting the dots, Paul was identified as a former NCAA athlete who played basketball at Syracuse University from 2018 through 2020.
Okay.
So then the next day, on March 26, 2024, Combs sells his stake in Revolt TV. An attorney calls this a witch hunt.
Jeez, was it a T-bone or New York strip? Dad joke. I'm here for the dad jokes.
Goodness gracious. There's the door. Anywho. But Combs reportedly agreed to a deal, which again, if you notice, every time an allegation comes out, he's like, I'm just going to step down from this. Like, you know, which
he got like 70 companies. He's like, I'm just going to step down.
Which to me shows that you have some guilt or there's a reason why, because that's what they always end up doing when they did something really bad.
Well, they don't want their company to suffer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Combs reportedly agreed to a deal to sell his stake in Revolt TV after stepping down from his role as chairman in November amid sexual assault allegations. According to TMZ, P. Diddy sold his remaining shares of Revolt to an anonymous buyer.
50 Cent.
Right. I'm like, what? Call my phone.
He did it for 50 Cent, too.
Yeah.
It's about all it's worth.
No, honestly, DeBria, that's a problem. They never said who it was, obviously, because it was an anonymous buyer, but I guarantee you're probably right. He kept it in the family allegedly. This is all just conspiracy. But it's like, but what if he did? Because that feels right for a lot of people who already engage in crime.
No, definitely.
But anyways, the report noted that the company will remain black-owned. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. Combs' attorney, Aaron Dyer, he has like 20 attorneys at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
He needs them.
yeah. Aaron Dyer spoke out against the gross overuse of military-level force. Let me just stop right there.
What, in a raid?
Yes.
It's a raid.
Exactly. I'm like, if you are getting a bi-coastal raid from the federal government, the Homeland Security, there's probably a reason, you know? Like, you don't just show up on their radar out of nowhere, you know? But anywho, gross overuse of military-level force in the raids of the musicians' residences and vowed to end the witch hunt against his client. There was a gross overuse of military-level force as the search warrants were executed at Mr. Combs' residence. Dyer told Billboard in a statement, "There's no excuse for the excessive show of force and hostility exhibited by authorities or the way his children and employees were treated. Mr. Combs was never detained, but spoke to and cooperated with authorities." Dyer added that Diddy and his family have not been arrested and are allowed to travel how they please, even after the pair of raids. This unprecedented ambush, paired with an advanced, coordinated media presence, leads to a premature rush to judgment of Mr. Combs and is nothing more than a witch hunt based on meritless accusations made in civil lawsuits, he continued. There has been no finding of criminal or civil liability with any of these allegations. Mr. Combs is innocent and will continue to fight every single day to clear his name. As a good lawyer should.
Yeah.
This man's fighting for his life. Not P. Diddy, but like the lawyer. It's like, not P. Diddy. No, the lawyer is over here like, I'm trying my best, dude, but you're making it real hard on me. But anyways, then on May 10th, 2024, Combs asks the judge to dismiss the rape claim. On May 10th, Combs asked a federal judge to dismiss the Jane Doe lawsuit filed in December 2023, calling the claims that he and two co-defendants raped a 17-year-old girl in 2003 false and hideous. He also argued that the case was filed too late, according to the law. Mr. Combs and his companies categorically deny plaintiffs' decades-old tale against them, which has caused incalculable damage to their reputations and business standing before any evidence has been presented. Read the filing. Plaintiff cannot allege what day or time of year the alleged incident occurred. Maybe because it happened too much.
Yeah.
You know? But miraculously remembers other salacious details despite her alleged incapacitated condition. The filing also asks that the case be dismissed now with prejudice to prevent any more reputational injury and waste of judicial resources. So after that, 4 days later, on May 14, 2024, Combs goes back to social media and makes a new post. And amid the developments in his legal cases, Combs emerged with a cryptic message on Instagram that said, "Time tells truth." And that read a message posted on his Instagram May 14th, which he captioned simply with "love."
Sound like a threat to me.
Mm-hmm. May 17th was a hard day for him.
May 17th?
Yeah, May 17th, 2024.
Okay.
That was when a video of the hotel assault emerged.
I think I remember that on social media.
Yeah, so on May 17th, and so mind you, the incident happened on May 17th, 2016. So they did this on the anniversary when this was leaked.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's petty. That's so petty.
I'm here for that, though. Yeah. But on May 17, 2016, surveillance footage obtained by CNN, because CNN aired this, showed Combs appearing to physically assault then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura during a hotel stay.
Yeah, I remember this.
In the clip, Combs, wearing nothing but a white towel around his waist, shoved Ventura to the ground near an elevator bank, kicked her several times while she lay on the ground, and dragged her down a hallway. He is
Like by her hair, right?
Yeah.
Or something? Yeah.
Yes.
Something like that.
He is later shown sitting in a chair, then grabbed something off of a table and appeared to throw it at her. He then walked away before turning toward Ventura once more, just as one of the elevator doors opened and someone was seen walking out. The incident closely mirrored an assault allegation made by Ventura against Combs in her now settled November lawsuit. So she did file about this. So the gut-wrenching video has only further confirmed the disturbing and predatory behavior of Mr. Combs, said Ventura's attorney, Douglas Wigder. And they made that statement shortly after the video came to light. Words cannot express the courage and fortitude that Miss Ventura has shown in coming forward to bring this to light. This footage appears to match an incident described in Ventura's lawsuit, which occurred around March 2016, which is what it said in the lawsuit. Mm-hmm. According to the lawsuit, Combs punched Ventura in the face while extremely intoxicated at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City. Once Combs was asleep, Ventura attempted to leave the hotel. However, Combs woke up and followed her into the hallway of the hotel while yelling at her. Per CNN, the complainant continued, he grabbed at her and then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as she ran to the elevator to escape. The lawsuit also claimed Combs paid the since-closed hotel $50,000 for security footage of the incident. So he tried to make it go away.
He tried to make it go away all day.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that same day, Cassie's husband speaks out. On the same day the hotel video surfaced, Ventura's husband, model Alex Fine, shared a Notes app screenshot of a self-written statement beginning with, "Men who hit women aren't men. Men who enable it and protect those people aren't men." The message continued. As men, violence against women shouldn't be inevitable. Check your brothers, your friends, and your family. To all the women and children, I'm sorry you live in a world where you're not protected and you don't feel equal. Wrote this a while back, but the words ring true, not just today, but every day. The fitness entrepreneur captioned his post, "I want my kids and every kid to live in a world that's safe for women and girls, protects them and treats them as equals. To the women and children, you're not alone and you are heard. If you need help, call the domestic violence hotline at the phone number." Also that same day, LA District Attorney explained why Combs couldn't be prosecuted for that video. So the Office of...
Go on.
Yeah, right. So the Office of Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gascon released a statement on Instagram May 17th explaining why the hotel video, though disturbing, would not directly lead to Combs being prosecuted. "We find the images extremely disturbing and difficult to watch," it read. "If the conduct depicted occurred in 2016, unfortunately, we would be unable to charge, as the conduct would have occurred beyond the timeline where a crime of assault can be prosecuted." So there must be some kind of statute of limitation in LA County.
Wow.
Because like Bill Cosby, there was people from the 80s
Yeah.
like, hey.
Yeah. I think maybe there's some kind of like very specific statute of limitations on domestic violence.
Domestic violence. Yeah. Weird.
But the statement added that law enforcement has not presented the LA County DA's office with a case related to the attack depicted in the video against Mr. Combs. But we encourage anyone who has been a victim or witness to a crime to report it to law enforcement or reach out to our office for support from our Bureau of Victim Services. So they're like, listen, we know he could be arrested for this if we were able to, but I think they were very slightly trying to be like, if you also have had this happen, let us know, because they're trying to build a case. You know,
with evidence they can use, even though they should totally be able to use that.
I mean, it's straight up on camera, and he paid to get that footage. So, like, that's very suspicious. But anyways, then on May 19th, 2024, Combs issues an apology video. 2 days after the hotel video surfaced, and after months of maintaining his innocence in the face of numerous assault allegations against him, Combs posted a 70-second self-filmed apology on Instagram. He loves making his statements on Instagram.
Yeah.
He says, "It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that, he said in the clip. I was effed up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went out and sought professional help, he continued, had to go into therapy, into rehab, had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry, but I'm committed to being a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I am truly sorry.
Written by ChatGPT.
Right? No, literally. I feel like that's a very blanket, apology.
Oh, dude.
Like, that was very media trained of him.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Oh, he didn't write that.
No. No, his PR absolutely wrote something of that nature because they're probably thinking, oh, Diddy, just write a little apology, like film an apology and you'll be fine. They'll forgive you.
Yeah.
Especially because you can't be prosecuted. Okay. Anyways. Anywho, May 20th, so the next day, in 2024, the NYC mayor considers revoking his key to the city. Shortly after the 2016 hotel video surfaced, New York City Mayor Eric Adams revealed in an interview that he and his associates were considering revoking the key to the city they'd bestowed upon Combs in September 2023.
Yeah, they should do that.
Yeah. I think all of us were deeply disturbed by watching that chilling video of the young lady being assaulted by him, and the committee and the team, we've never rescinded a key before. But we are now sitting down to see what the next steps forward are going to be. He told PIX 11, we are taking everything under analysis and the team will come back to me with a final determination.
Can I cough?
Yes, go ahead.
Cough.
You have permission. Anywho.
Okay, it's a little itchy. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Here, have a drink.
No.
Okay.
This is gonna hurt.
Anywho.
You got to keep this in here, by the way, to breathe.
No.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Then the next day. So it was like every single day something new was happening.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, the next day.
The next
Yeah.
day.
May 21st, 2024, former model sues Combs for alleged sexual assault.
Wow.
Crystal McKinney accused Combs of sexual assault in a lawsuit she filed against him on May 21st, alleging that he had forced her to perform oral sex on him in the bathroom of a New York City recording studio in 2003. McKinney also claimed that she was given alcohol and marijuana that she later came to believe was laced with a narcotic or other intoxicating substance. After the alleged assault was over, she says she awakened in shock to find herself in a taxi leaving the scene.
See,
Wow.
that's why I said earlier, like
Yeah.
he's drugging them.
Just like Cosby.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
And you know who also was
crazy.
invited to Diddy's parties? Bill Cosby.
Oh yeah, of course.
R. Kelly. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
They wrote in together.
The Three Horsemen.
Literally.
Literally.
Goodness gracious.
But also named as defendants in the lawsuit are Combs' label Bad Boy Records, its parent company Universal Music Group, and Combs' clothing company Sean John Clothing, all of which McKinney claims enabled the alleged assault by actively maintaining and employing Combs in a position of power, despite the fact they allegedly knew or should have known that Combs posed a risk of sexual assault. Then, 2 days later, on May 23rd, 2024, Cassie makes a new statement. So nearly a week after the hotel video surfaced, Cassie spoke out on the footage after having previously spoken only through her attorneys. She said, "Thank you for all of the love and support from my family, friends, strangers, and those who I've yet to meet," she wrote in a statement on Instagram that did not mention Diddy. "The outpouring of love has created a place for my younger self to settle and feel safe now, but this is only the beginning," she continued. "Domestic violence is the issue. It broke me down to someone I never thought I would become. With a lot of hard work, I am better today, but I will always be recovering from my past." Then on March 27, 2024, fans found and resurfaced a 2016 Howard Stern interview with singer Usher, who lived with Combs when he was a teenager, starting out in the music business. In the clip, he is vague about what he saw there when he was living with Diddy, saying there were very curious things taking place. And
Usher.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You know, they have a interview with him and Usher, and he was like, I remember we used to wake up in the bed together. I mean, and then he tried to like save it.
Oh,
I think-
I don't know anything about that.
What?
I'm gonna find that video.
Jeez.
That's
Yes.
if you want to see that clip that I was just referring to, though, we'll have any kind of clips like that linked down below.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can go watch that. But honestly, not surprised to hear that. But anywho, then we skip all the way to September 11th, 2024, when Dawn Richard sues him. Diddy is sued by singer Dawn Richard in a case describing years of psychological and physical abuse, including groping that she says she suffered as he helped launch her career, which seems to be that classic Me Too kind of concept that a lot of these women are saying, like, seem to have in common, where a lot of them are trying to get started in the industry or, you know, things like that, where he's taking advantage of it. And they're thinking, you know, oh, this is my only opportunity to get big. But yeah, so Richard, a member of the girl group Danity Kane, and is well known for appearing on the MTV reality show Making the Band, alleges in the suit that she witnessed Combs abuse Cassie and was afraid of the musician. Diddy's representatives accuse Richard of making an attempt to rewrite history by manufacturing a series of false claims, all in the hopes of trying to get a payday. Their only excuse. Conveniently timed to coincide with her album release and press tour. Then on September 16, 2024, Diddy is finally arrested. Combs was finally literally. Combs was arrested in a Manhattan hotel at around 8:30 p.m. after a grand jury indictment. Combs was charged with sex trafficking and racketeering, the same crimes R. Kelly was found guilty of in 2022. Now, Mark Agnifilio, one of Combs' lawyers, confirmed the arrest to multiple news outlets, including CNN and NBC News, late on September 16th. We are disappointed with the decision to pursue what we believe is an unjust prosecution of Mr. Combs, but the U.S. Attorney's by the U.S. Attorney's Office, he said, calling his client an imperfect person who is not a criminal. That...
Okay. So basically just like regular person?
Right.
Because we all imperfect.
Yeah.
A lot of us aren't criminals.
Exactly. A lot of us don't have to pay $50,000 to get hotel
footage.
Yeah. But go off, King.
Yeah.
But anyways, to his credit, Mr. Combs has been nothing but cooperative with this investigation, and he voluntarily relocated to New York last week in anticipation of these charges. Please reserve your judgment until you have all the facts. These are the acts of an innocent man with nothing to hide. Okay. And he looks forward to clearing his name in court.
Okay.
Then the next day, on September 17th, 2024, his charges were fully revealed. Federal prosecutors unsealed the indictment the morning after Diddy's arrest, revealing that the musician was accused of running a racketeering conspiracy that included sex trafficking, forced labor, bribery, and more.
Forced labor?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. For decades, Sean Combs abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. And then to do so, Combs relied on the employees, resources, and the influence of his multifaceted business empire that he led and controlled. That same day, the details of the freak-offs came out.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Mm-hmm. So
I don't know what a freak off is, but I guess we've got to learn.
Yes. So a lot of these sexual assaults where these women are getting drugged and whatnot happen during these freak offs.
Okay.
And I should also clarify that people are going to be like, where's the mention of the white parties? The white parties seem to be kind of like the facade that like Diddy
Okay.
just liked to throw big parties for
Sure,
celebrities, like A-list people. But then he had a inner circle of A-list celebrities that were invited to freak-offs.
I see.
Not every celebrity was invited to those.
Okay.
But per page 6 in the New York Times, the indictment includes detailed descriptions of drug-fueled sex parties and other activities allegedly hosted by Combs and on his property. The indictment alleged that Combs would force women into lengthy sexual sessions with male sex workers, and one of those being Cassie.
Okay.
Cassie was forced to participate in these freak-offs. So,
Jeez.
yeah. While he recorded the encounters to be used as blackmail against victims to keep them from coming forward.
Yep.
Wow. So blackmail.
And he pleasured himself while these freak-offs were happening.
What?
Yeah.
You think he wouldn't?
Yeah.
But like, wow.
He had an agenda, but there were multiple reasons he's doing this.
Yeah.
Wow.
So freak-offs were elaborate and produced sex performances that Combs arranged, directed, and masturbated during, and often electronically recorded, the indictment says. Per the document, the rapper lured women into his home with promises of a romantic relationship, then plied them with drugs to facilitate the freak-offs.
Wow.
One particularly telling detail is that the sessions lasted so long that the women involved had to receive fluids from an IV afterward to recover from the physical exertion and drug use.
What?
Yeah.
This is allegedly. There was a lady who said that they used to like have servers that would have drugs and then alcohol. You can like choose like what you wanted to do, because you would think, yeah.
So a lot
Wow.
of the celebrities that would go to these freak-offs that said that they ended up coming in, they would say that they literally would walk into the doors and there would just be like orgies happening and people were having sex the whole time. Like it was like a full rager, like sex-fueled
like a
bathhouse. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Okay.
Yeah. And
So these were forced?
yes, the women that
So
were
they weren't consensual at all?
the women that were that were in the actual performances, those were not consensual. He would lure those women to his home, saying we're going to have a romantic relationship, and then he drugged them and then made them have sex with the male sex workers that he hired.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
And 50 Cent did say that he's like, I never went to any of the freak-offs because I would say that I have more normal sexual behaviors.
Yeah.
So,
Of course.
50 Cent, man.
Yeah.
He's wild.
he is. But
I've always loved him.
But during the raid back in March, we learned the feds found multiple AR-15s with their serial numbers filed off,
Oh, there's the problem.
as well as other weapons that the musician allegedly had his staff carry. Per the New York Post, feds also discovered freak-off supplies, including narcotics and more than 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube.
Jeez.
I've heard
Jeez.
about that.
Yeah.
They going crazy on in there over
Jeez.
there.
So why the ARs?
To guard the house while the freak-offs are happening.
Why the serial number scratched off?
Because he's doing illegal stuff.
I guess, but I don't know. It
And
just
they're
makes it more
doing
illegal.
trafficking
Yeah.
too.
Like,
They're
oh,
trafficking
yeah.
at the
Alright.
same time.
Exactly.
So they try to escape. They have something that they can,
Mm-hmm.
and then they getting them from like they said other countries. I don't know if it's true. So if they like try to run off, they can shoot them and nobody find them because they're from somewhere else.
Exactly.
Heard.
Yeah. And that same day, he was denied bail. Allegedly. Well, no, he was no.
We have to continue to say allegedly. It's
Yeah.
true.
But for real though, he was denied bail.
Okay.
So hours after the indictment was unsealed, a federal judge denied bail for the music mogul during a hearing, meaning Combs, who earlier in the day pled not guilty to a range of charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering, would stay behind bars until his trial. On September 18th, 2024, he was denied bail again. They really want to keep him in jail. That's kind of telling too.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh yeah.
Combs was once again refused bail after a federal judge ruled that the indicted rapper and music executive would pose a flight risk and might intimidate witnesses if released. Because it does seem like he has a track record of that.
Sure.
At a hearing in Manhattan federal court, Combs' lawyer renewed their request to let him await trial on sex trafficking and racketeering charges under house arrest at his Miami mansion, once again offering to pay a $50 million bond and submit to other strict requirements. But just like a magistrate judge had ruled a day earlier, Judge Andrew L. Carter said that Diddy must instead wait for the trial in a Brooklyn federal prison, citing concerns that the once powerful executive could pose a danger to others or obstruct the government's case. So he is currently being held at the special housing unit in the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn.
Okay.
On September 21st, 2024, people started digging up old videos and photos. The internet dug up old pictures and clips that seem to back up the allegations against Diddy. In a particularly uncomfortable video, he detailed his party tips to Conan O'Brien. At one point, he suggested that in addition to alcohol and ladies, one needs locks on the doors. And we'll link that video down below.
Oh, boy.
But Conan O'Brien was like, what's your tips, for throwing a good party? And so he was saying alcohol, ladies, and make sure you have locks on the doors.
And making sure the heat is on, too.
Exactly.
Making sure what?
The heat is on.
Yes.
The heat is on?
It got to be hot.
He likes it when they have a little bit of sweat to them.
Oh, okay.
So.
Lord.
Anywho. And he also made questionable comments.
That's like a 90s music video. All 90s music videos, they're sweaty as hell.
Exactly.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
They all sweating real hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. He also made questionable comments in a video with then underage Justin Bieber. So Justin Bieber has, honestly, we're just going to talk very briefly about him because there's a lot of articles circulating about him, and his friendship with Diddy and stuff. But a lot of it seems like he may have known more than he should have known, or that he might have been aware of things, but he still continued to hang out with him, which is not great, but there's no evidence to prove that. But when we're referring to this video, in 2009, Justin Bieber spent 48 hours with Diddy. Justin Bieber posted a video of him hanging out with Diddy for 48 hours on his YouTube channel. He was 15 years old at the time, and Diddy refused to disclose what they were up to at the time. And so the quote is, "You ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, Justin is having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy," the rapper says in the video. "They're having the time of their lives. Where we hanging out and what we're doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream," he adds. Justin, who was signed to Usher's label at the time, hung out with the rapper with his lavish Lamborghinis at his mansion. "I have been given custody of him," Diddy continues. He signed to Usher, and I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. We're going to go full, a buck full crazy. Those are all the things that Diddy said in this video. Okay. And then at one point, he asked Justin, "What do you want to do?" Mind you, Justin is 15 years old at this point. He said, "I want to go get some girls." And Diddy goes, "A man after my own heart."
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not...
And he was in his 30s when this was happening.
No, I get it. I get it. But compared to everything else, that's not super damning.
Yeah, it's important to note because that is a part of the allegations against him of him possibly coercing underage kids and things.
But
because Justin Bieber also was underage attending Diddy's parties.
Yeah.
Because we'll link down below to the guest list that has been leaked because it's basically every A-list star you could possibly think of. But not all of them actually attended. But we do know Justin Bieber did attend a lot of Diddy's parties.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
But anyways, October 1st, 2024, there were a lot more accusers. During a press conference on October 1st, Texas-based attorney Tony Busby said that he is representing more than 120 accusers and will be filing a series of civil lawsuits against Diddy in various states over the next 30 days. Busby added that he and his team have collected pictures, video, texts, as evidence, and that allegations include violent sexual assault or rape, facilitated sex with a controlled substance, dissemination of video, recordings, sexual abuse of minors. The youngest alleged victim was just 9 years old at the time of their assault, Busby noted. The allegations span the past 20 years. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors, Busby told reporters. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. Though he did not single out anyone specifically, Busby claimed that some of these enablers include high-profile people. These names will shock you, he said.
Wow.
Busby added that he will be naming the other defendants at a later date.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. The lawyer who...
So there's some other celebrities that are going to go down.
There are.
God.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yes. The lawyer who also represented victims of the fatal crowd crush at Travis Scott's Astroworld Fest said that more than 3,000 people came forward with allegations against Diddy. In a statement, Diddy's lawyer, Erica Wolf, said, as Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. That said, Mr. Combs empathetically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he sexually abused anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court if and when claims are filed and served, where the truth will be established based on evidence and not speculation. So then on October 10th, 2024, that was when his trial was set, and he will be possibly getting convicted with multiple counts of sex trafficking, racketeering, and all that. And that trial will happen on May 5th, will start on May 5th, 2025. So, yeah, we'll have quite some time to see what else comes out in that process.
Yeah.
And we'll reconvene when his trial actually happens. But I do want to end this with some information that came out today. It is currently, what day is it? October 14th. So.
It's like every day.
Yeah, right. Literally every single
I
day.
swear.
Yeah. A new series of lawsuits were filed against Sean Diddy Combs, accusing him of raping women, sexually assaulting men, and molesting a 16-year-old boy. Now, this information we're getting from the Associated Press. And they literally released this article, I want to say 5 minutes or so before I even got to the studio today.
Yeah.
So
it's very new.
it's literally hot off the presses, if you will. But 6 lawsuits were filed anonymously in federal court in Manhattan involving 2 women, Jane Does, and 4 men, John Does. These accusers are part of a larger group of over 100 individuals planning legal action after Combs' recent sex trafficking arrest. One John Doe, a man from North Carolina, alleges that Combs sexually assaulted him at the age of 16 during one of Combs' parties in 1998. Other lawsuits include allegations of rape, forced oral sex, and drugging victims to incapacitate them. Combs has pled not guilty to related charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. Despite his legal team's efforts, he remains in custody as judges have deemed him a danger to the community, citing potential witness tampering and obstruction of justice. And I will finish this with one last thing, because like I said, we will link the guest list down below. But just find it interesting that another one of his guests was Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh yeah, well.
And there
I could
are
have guessed that.
but there are allegations though of him having women who, like DeBria said, were from other countries. And since Jeffrey Epstein is kind of known as being one of the biggest sex traffickers, like in in like, you know, that higher elite status, would make a lot of sense if Jeffrey Epstein, like, again, this is just conspiracy, just based off of the fact that we have his name on that list.
Sure.
Is like, I wonder if Jeffrey Epstein maybe had something to do with how he was acquiring these women.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe there's a connection in that way.
Yeah,
but
maybe he was visiting Jeffrey Epstein in the Bahamas when his houses got raided. Whoa.
conspiracy.
The problem is that I could be right. All right.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So Madison, while you write yours down, I'll go ahead and start. This one has been super hard for me because when you think of Wicked, immediately Ted Bundy comes to mind, at least for me. And I'll say that I'll mention him often because I think he's a true 10, and he murdered. When I think of Wicked, I think of people who not only, rape. I mean, they're all wicked, obviously, but just like a true 10, it's like rape, murder, all of it, just through premeditation, making it really hard for the cops to catch them or arrest them, which Ted Bundy did on multiple occasions and, just didn't own up to it. This one's been really hard because it seems like P. Diddy is a super wicked dude.
Yeah,
I mean, just this was not on my bingo card, as Madison likes to say, because I didn't know much about this whole thing when it started. And then now hearing everything, I would not have said before, like when Madison arrived at the studio and DeBria arrived at the studio, that he was going to be this wicked. I would not have guessed that. So I'm going to say for premeditation, because we're only doing premeditation, brutality, motive, and body count. And also comment down below what your rating is. We'll add it in for sure. So premeditation, I say a solid 10. Because he's constantly covering up stuff. He's paying for the hotel video. He's planning parties. That's like that is the Ted Bundy equivalent of, this is the house I'm gonna break into. This is the sorority I'm gonna break into, right? Like, planning it and then acting on it. Total 10. Brutality, I'm gonna say an 8. Because obviously the acts of drugging and raping someone is, it can't be below, in my mind, it can't be below a 7, it's got to be much higher. So yeah, an 8 for brutality. The motive, power, and being just a sexual predator in general, with the blackmail and all that, I give him a 9 because, I mean, it's just he's very much a wicked sexual predator. He deserves to be up there in the 8s through 10s. And body count, I'm giving a 7. Solely off of the fact that, and it's not that I don't believe anyone, we just have to see him convicted,
we don't know the full
and we don't know
total.
the full body count. That's exactly it. So those are my numbers, and I'm going to average them up with DeBria's and Madison's. DeBria, what did you put?
I made it easy. All
Bruh.
10s.
Bruh.
Put
10s
him
across the
under
board.
the jail. Put him under it.
Under
him
the
under
jail?
the jail?
Bury him? She said bury him.
Dang.
Because I know he's done other stuff.
Lord.
I know he's done other
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Because, like, you're, drugging people and making them do all these things.
Oh, yeah.
And then they said it might be politicians that's involved and stuff like that. So I'm just like, all 10s, because it's too much.
It is. It's a lot. And, DeBria, I feel you, because, like, I will also want to give him all 10s, but it's just because of the fact that he's technically not convicted yet that I feel like I can't. I'm just going off of, like, what we know is the allegations.
Yeah.
So if he does get convicted, he will be a perfect 10, in my opinion, because that is just so brutal. But I should say on brutality, I gave him an 8.5 just because of the fact that he did not kill them. He released these people. Even though he did horrible things to them, we do have to reserve a couple points, in my opinion, for those who do these horrible things, because we will talk about people who have done horrible acts just like this, but killed them also.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is my reasoning for that. And you never know, that could go up as we continue getting more information on how this goes. But at the meantime, because we don't know, maybe he did kill people too, and we just don't know about it yet. So
Yeah.
right now I have an 8.5 for brutality. Premeditation, I also gave him a 10 because it's very cut and dry that he had a system of how he went about this.
Yeah.
He actively was buying drugs. He was actively planning these parties, and he was actively, doing things to create a perfect situation for him to perform these crimes.
Yeah, he's an actual psychopath.
Yeah. No,
like
for real.
I would not have guessed. Again, I knew nothing about this before this episode, so I just would not have guessed that I'd be calling him a psychopath at the end of this. But I think he's a psychopath.
He is.
That's wild.
1000%.
So he's actually the highest. The highest we've done. Obviously, this is only our second episode. But he's a 9.04.
Well, I'm not finished yet.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I jumped the gun.
Anyways, so motive, I gave him an 8 just because there is a little bit of gray area there of why he, besides, like the classic, I have power, you don't, I'm going to take advantage of that sort of situation. But I think because there are other facets of his motive that aren't super clear, I didn't want to give him anything higher than an 8.
Sure.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, DeBria.
I was also, fun fact, his dad worked with the what's that thing called? This gangster that used to sell drugs. He
Al
used
Capone?
I have no idea. I forgot. Because he's from Brooklyn, but there's this guy that was like pretty much like the mob or whatever, and his dad used to work for him, and then he snitched on them, and that's how he died. So people are saying that this might be how he's gonna die, just like his dad, snitching on everybody that was involved.
Interesting.
Oh, wow.
That is interesting.
That's super interesting.
But
I thought that was him.
You thought that was me, Diddy? You thought that was me, Diddy? We heard a noise from our neighbor, and
DeBria thought P. Diddy was crashing into the studio. So,
she's
all
like
the way,
afraid
I
of
was
him.
like, I meant zeros. There's zeros. We're gonna give them zeros.
she's like, don't hurt me.
Oh my lord!
She's like, I didn't mean to bury you underneath the prison. But anyways, but then my last one is body count. I gave him an 8 because, again, if he genuinely did harm upwards to like 120, possibly more people, that's a 10. That is so unbelievably horrible that like I couldn't even imagine. But because, again, there's gray area there where we don't fully know how many people it is, I would give it an 8 because it is still horrible what he's done to even just Cassie. That's really messed up on a number of occasions.
Of course.
So yeah, those are
He's
my
a 9.04.
9.04.
Wow, that's going to be really hard to beat.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be really hard to beat. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're
But I'll average as y'all send in your ratings. I'll average as many as I can see, and we'll have an official rating.
yeah, there really ain't no party like a Diddy party, apparently.
Lord,
I hope we don't have no Diddy party.
goodness gracious!
I'm glad I never went to any Diddy parties. That's all I gotta say. That is just
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Locks on the doors.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's close it out, Maddie.
It's so that was supremely disturbing. And if you would like to watch any of the videos, I did not find the actual video. I'm sure it's out there if you really, really do some heavy digging. I did not find the video of Cassie getting assaulted in the hotel, but everything else that we mentioned that I reference as videos, go ahead and check the link in our bio. That's going to have all of those links to those videos. Other than that, y'all, thank you for listening to today's episode. We hope that you guys enjoyed, and stay listening, because I'm sure we're going to have more updates on Leilani Simon coming out soon. Eventually, we're going to have lots of updates on P. Diddy, because I just know this is just scratching the surface of whatever he's been doing. But other than that, y'all, my name is Madison Timmons.
And I'm JD Timmons.
And I'm Jeff.
And that's Jeff. And stay safe out there. The truth is out there.